all right. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Show Thyself a Man. I am your host, Amiri Israel, and we have a very, very special guy. I always say we have very special guests, but this brother is very, very, very special, very dope, creative man. I'm honored to have him on this show. I'm honored to allow him to tell his story. And with that being said, brother, tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're from, and what it is you do, man.
Well, bro, I appreciate you having me on. As I said, I don't take it lightly when, brothers or sisters invite me on to their platform and to continue to just push and advance our message. So I appreciate that
No problem.
100%. Um, so I might guess a creative. I started doing music probably over 20 years ago and pivoted within the past year from doing music to actually doing apparel. Um, and not just apparel, just anything regular apparel, but apparel with a message. So
Yes,
like,
sir.
my thing has always been, I'm gonna wear something. I'm gonna wear something that has some meaning to it. I'm gonna wear something just oh that's a Gucci shirt. Let me put it on. But what is it actually? What is the value that it's actually providing and presenting?
Right.
Um, so that's always been my thing before I even started a brand. It was whatever I'm wearing, I'm a billboard. So
Yeah.
whatever I'm wearing, you know what I'm saying? I want it to represent something.
Right.
Um, and so started this brand um, from going to therapy. So
Mhm.
got into therapy in 2020 as a lot of people post pandemic, or really not even post pandemic. For me it was like pandemic, sit home, you can't go nowhere, and I'm a very active person, so it's like I can't go nowhere. Like, hold on, I don't know what to do with everything
Right.
that now I gotta confine down in. So out of that COVID moment, kind of pushed me into therapy.
Yeah.
And in therapy, talking with my therapist, I'm like, bro, I hate my job. I hate this. I hate this. I hate this. And um, um, I said, well, what are you gonna do about it? I don't know. So I'm like, I gotta do music. Can you live off of your music? I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. No, I don't know how. A buddy of mine who actually works in music, he's like, you can, you just don't know how to. So that's a whole nother conversation.
Right. Right.
But
Right.
that pushed me into apparel, and I'm
Yeah.
like, well, what do I want to do? And the company is called Be.Good. Um, our tagline is to be good within, be good to yourself, and be good to others.
Yeah.
And before you can tap into the be good to yourself or be good to others, you first got to be good within. It's
Yeah.
like that drives everything,
Yes,
right?
sir.
And that really started from my therapist. Like he's like one of the things early on. I remember him asking me was, "Do you want to pretend that you're good, or do you want to actually be good?" And I
Mhm.
was like,
Be
"Ooh."
good.
But then the other side of it was every time I'm chopping it up with the homies and I'm leaving, I'm like, all right, y'all, be good. I'm out. And so it had a double sided meaning that made sense for me
Mhm.
um, on both sides. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? And so I've been doing this now for June, will be coming up on a year.
Okay.
Um, technically, but we launched the Therapy is Dope design in November, and that's what's really been going crazy, and people have been really connecting with it. We just really want to build a community around people being able to stand on good values of health. You know,
Right. Right.
mental health, physical health, emotional health, spiritual health. Like we want to stand on those values and know that at first it all starts within. So we want to be able to build a community around that. Kind of a whole movement of people that say, "Yo, we believe that therapy is dope, and you shouldn't shrink back because somebody said you go to therapy." Yeah, like
Mm-mm.
nah, yeah, I go to therapy. Like yeah, what's up? You know what I'm saying? Like change the narrative, change the mindset. So that's our goal. What we doing with it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And I tilt my head to that because, and therapy is slowly but surely, and I'm not going to say slowly. I think it's surely becoming a wave. Like people really starting to understand. Oh, I need to. There's so much trauma from some childhood. And to go deeper, even genetically.
Yeah,
That we things that we don't even know is there
have
is
no
there.
control over. Yeah.
So and I appreciate that, man, making therapy dope, literally. You know what I'm saying? And it's especially what's your thoughts around and allow me to say first, especially as men,
Yeah.
so much goes on, man, with us as men in general. And we don't necessarily when we get together as bros, we don't share as much as we don't communicate that. But I definitely advocate for people to getting trained assistance around
Hmm.
clearing your mind. Like so a wise man always tell me, look, your mind is you need to have a recycling bin for your mind. It's like your computer have a recycling bin. If you don't move some of the trash off your computer, it will crash. So it's
Mm.
things that, yeah. So if a
Like that. Everything don't
computer,
get paid. Yeah.
yeah, if a
Like that.
computer has recycling bin to in order to function, then yeah, it's very important. So what's your thoughts around men getting therapy, like on a deeper level, like how has it helped you?
So my thoughts, honestly, around it is I feel like the men need to spearhead um, mental healthiness in their homes, right? Um,
Yeah,
one of
yeah,
the things that I've been saying throughout, the start of the brand when it comes to men in particular is that when you look at communities, right, we take it from a community view and shrink down to the home view. Um, the community is a reflection of what's happening in your home,
yeah,
right? So if we can get the home together mentally, starting with the father, leads the home. Um, the father, the mother, the children. We get daddy good, we get the home good, we get the home good, we get the neighborhood good, we get the neighborhood good, we get the world good. You know what I'm saying? It's just
yeah.
this
The
whole
order.
trickle down that if our leaders, our men aren't championing that, like then there's always going to be. I feel like we'd have a greater return um, on our value in pushing therapy if more of our leaders and men in our homes, you know, pushed and promoted and saw value in it as well. The
Right.
biggest issue I think for a lot of us is we don't see the value in it.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
don't see the value in vulnerability,
yeah.
saying I need help. You know what I'm saying? It's like, nah, like the value for us is I gotta look like I'm doing straight. I gotta look like I'm doing good so they could think that I'm doing
Yeah.
good. But if I'm not and I need help,
Very dangerous.
what does it, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't change anything about my situation if I lie to you and tell you that I'm good.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
But it changes everything about my situation if I actually confront the issue head on and say, bro, this is where I'm at. I'm having issues with this. I need help with that. Whether if it's mentally, financially, emotionally, spiritually, whatever it is, we don't want to be vulnerable. And that's
yeah.
men across the board. That's not even black thing, white thing, Asian.
Right,
That's
right,
men across the board.
right,
We're just like,
right,
nah, why would I tell you that? Why wouldn't you tell me that? You know what I'm saying?
right.
But I think there's so much value in you get daddy right, you get the home right, you get the home right, you get the community
Yeah, it's an order, man. It's order, decency,
right.
and order, man.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, sir. So this segment of the show, so when you're opening up conversation, how they say this is so we're gonna break the ice, this icebreaker. So I call this the glacier breaker.
The glacier.
This
Right.
is so I start the segments off. What is your definition of manhood, or how do you define manhood?
Yeah. Um, so I would say from a perspective of a man, obviously, manhood. A lot of people will look at it like from a financial standpoint, but I think really a lot of it for me is um, balance, being able um, to identify and navigate balance in your life, right?
Yeah,
So when it comes time for work, you're gonna work. You're gonna give it your all. You're gonna give it your all today might not be what your all is tomorrow. Your all
Yeah.
today, I'm gonna give it my all. When it comes to relationally with people, how you respond to people, lift people up rather than pushing them down. I think that's a big part of manhood, in my opinion, is how you lift up and care for the people beneath you, whether that's, you know, children, parents, siblings, spouse, whatever. I think that's huge. Financially, obviously, there's an aspect that I would say goes into that as well. So for me, it's a balance of knowing like all these things are important, and it's like I can't, you know, you can't drive a car with three wheels. You know what I mean? So it's like I need all of them on the vehicle and inflated. You know what I'm saying? To you could move a car that's got four flats, but you can move better if it was four inflated tires. You
Yes,
know what I'm
sir.
saying? So it's like have the balance, but then understanding like where do I need to? All right, I got to turn this off. So like, all right, well I'm only going to do X until 9 o'clock. Then I'm going to do that. All right, well now I know I need time for a rest, so I got to do this. Like being able to properly almost portion yourself out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? To the things that the responsibilities that come to you throughout the day. Um, I think that's really for me what I would look at, you know, as being a man. You know, handling those responsibilities as they come to you, and not like, oh, well, you know, y'all can do it. Like, hold on, bro. Like, we all got. I always my thing is like what we all have a part as men, right? And it's always, well, what's your part?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like we all got a part to play in that. So it's always like, well, what's your part? Is in your manhood? Where's your part? Well, this is your part. You know, in leadership, and you might not be a great leader in finances.
Right.
You know
Right.
what I'm
Right.
saying? So it's
Right.
like, all right, I'm gonna defer that to somebody else. It doesn't determine my manhood.
Yeah.
But knowing that, all right, I'm not great in here, so I'm gonna literally that was a call I was just on today.
Yeah.
All right, well, this is what I want to do in business. Well, you don't do that good. Yeah, no, I don't. How do you do it? You do it great. Great. I'm gonna go ahead and give that to you. That doesn't make me any less a man that I acknowledge. Yeah, I'm not good in this area,
Yeah.
but I know I need help.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And you're gonna be there to help me.
No
And
doubt.
I think if we got more of that, we got more men on that mindset that it doesn't make me less a man to say I can't do this and I need you to help me. It actually um, ignites something more
Mhm.
because the meeting I got just got off of was, hey, this is what we want to do. We're gonna help you out with X, Y, and Z. And I get off the call and I'm like texting like, bro, y'all don't know what this means to me.
Yes, sir. Yes,
You know what
sir.
I'm saying? That I was vulnerable to say, yeah, well, I don't know how to do this. Well, we gonna take that off your plate and we gonna, man, if I never said I needed help, you know what I'm saying? I'd have still been on a struggle bus over here. But in my manhood, I said, well, it does make me less a man if I identify, all right, I need to balance myself out and pull myself out of this because I can do better over here and put you up and, you know what I'm saying? So that's what I would say. That's what I would say for sure.
Or that you said very well, brother. Said very, very well. That's gold right there, man. Because no man is an island at all. No man is an island, and we have to be able to delegate. You know what I'm saying? And also therapy helps with that. Helps with us understanding that where our balance lies. Are we balanced? Where are we not? Balanced. What areas we not balanced in? And even introducing the masculine feminine aspect to every human being, like, you know what I'm
And
saying?
even why you think unbalanced. Like, why do you even think that way in the first place? I
Yeah,
think, yeah.
yeah. So just balance, man, balance. So yeah, that's gold, man. That's good as gold, bro. So who's had the greatest impact on your life as a boy growing into a man?
Greatest impact, obviously, you know, my dad for sure. Um, lost my dad at 18, but so you figure 18 years ago. Wow. 18 years ago this year will be 18 years. But the
Boy,
biggest impact, like when I think of his life and why I do the things I do, um, it was literally probably a month or two ago. No, it was just a few weeks ago. Just celebrated a birthday. So around that birthday, I was
happy belated.
thinking, appreciate it. You know, thinking about what I do today. I'm very active, like community focused, um, very heavy. And I thought, why do I do this? Why am I, what programming in my mind makes me like this?
Hmm.
And I had to attribute it to my dad.
Right.
My dad cared for people. My dad loved people. Um, he was very charismatic, and a lot of that like just rubbed off on me.
Yep.
So when they saw me, they saw my dad, and they, man, you just like your dad, kid. Yeah, you know what I mean. And then that just carried over after he passed. It carried over into my adult years. His charisma became my charisma. That charisma gleaned favor, and obviously, favor from the Lord. But like that, the things that I modeled after him, or even learned from him, and have been able to model, was just caring for people. Loving people where they are, and
Yeah.
not expecting anything more beyond. Whether
Yeah.
you not like, well, what can you do for me?
Right.
You
Right.
know what I'm saying? But his heart was always, what do you need, and not, well, all right, I can give you that, but this is what you got to do for me.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
was always just, what do you need? Even if he didn't have it, he gonna figure it out.
Yeah.
And that's where I am now. Started like I said, a few years ago, started working with an organization up in Baltimore before I moved down. It's called Somebody Cares Baltimore.
Hmm.
You're talking about going into low income communities and just loving on people in ways that they've never experienced.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Ooh,
We talking
that's
inner
big.
city. The city didn't forgot about him. Y'all don't got two pennies to rub together to run to the corner store to try to get you a little something. You don't got it.
Right.
We
Right.
come in. I worked with them for the last 7 years, and we come in and we provide, um, like 40,000 pounds of groceries that they could come out and basically they would grocery shop at the event that we put on. You know what I'm saying? They come with their grocery carts, walk out with a grocery cart full of food.
Yo.
I would be a part of putting on anything that came to the stage. So I work with, you know, local entertainers,
Hmm.
uh, out of state entertainers, local representatives, delegates, the mayor's office. Hey, we need y'all because it was for the people. Y'all people need to see y'all here.
Yeah.
This is a community that voted for y'all,
Yes,
and a
sir.
lot of these offices, they need to see that y'all care about them more than just from City Hall. We need y'all
Yeah.
here on the ground. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Did a lot of stuff with that, with Day of Hope, um, and um, and even now, like finding ways to connect with people, and the brand helps me with that on a literally daily basis. Because there's not a day that goes by that I don't have one of these hoodies on, or a therapy is dope shirt, or the therapy is dope. Dad had like something. We gonna have a conversation about therapy. If you see
Yeah.
me, more than likely, and you mention it, we having a conversation.
Yep.
But it's allowed us to, allowed me to do that, and I look at that and say, well, this is what my dad would. This is what my dad would do. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? So I look at him as 100% for sure. Um, the biggest, most influential person in my life for sure.
So that definitely explains how important fathers are
Big
to
time.
be present. You know what I'm saying? And for us to, as a father, to be purpose driven, so we can have something substantial and efficient and productive to see.
Yeah.
Because you could be a father and you could see a father not doing nothing, or
Yeah.
but I tilt my head to your pops, man. I tilt my head to you and everything you and your guys got going on, man. That's big. That's absolutely big, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro. So, man, I took a trip to Baltimore. It's like I said, it's home away from home. But the first time I went to Baltimore, man, we stopped at the Lexington Mall.
Mm-hmm.
Blew my mind, bro. I said, bro, I walked in there and was like, yo, this looked like an action scene or something. Like
Oh, down in Lexington Market. Yeah.
market, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dodging and running through these,
Yeah.
food everywhere.
I
I was
just heard
like, "Man,
they just destroyed that joint. They just
really?
knocked it down. I heard.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yo, that was pretty historical
Oh, for
place, right?
sure. Yeah. So it surprised me when I was like, oh, dang.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that damn, that is surprising, man. So next time we go back, we won't be able to
It's
get
gonna be
fishing.
condos. It's gonna be condos there when you go back,
That's
probably.
that's a whole, bro. That's a whole nother topic.
That gentrification is real, dot.
Bro, that's a whole nother topic. A good friend of mine called it colonization. Hey, but I see it as opportunity for us to take that as a blueprint and recolonize our communities as well. We just need the knowledge. That's all.
That's it.
That's all. So what was one of the most important lessons you learned growing up, whether it be from your pops or any mentors or anything growing up?
Hmm. One of the most important lessons.
Something that has influenced your definition of manhood, like a real influential lesson or some gems dropped or anything you like to share.
Hmm. You know, I can't really say any lessons because I did a lot of watching, right?
Mm,
So
mm,
my dad he was great with words. He was a minister,
mhm,
but he didn't do a lot of talking necessarily um, outside of discipline. His
mhm,
discipline was communication,
mm.
right? And let's sit and let's talk about this. Let's think about why you did X, what the result could have been if you did. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, yeah.
so that was more so a lot of what he did, but so it wasn't a lot of like gems dropping from him on like this is what it means to be a man. But he showed me in action, right? So I'm
Mhm.
one of nine. Uh, all my mom and dad's, all nine of us, is all from the same two people, right?
Woo, squad.
Crazy. I was.
Squad.
They said nine. What happened? I said we ain't had cable TV growing up. That's
Y'all would have kicked
what.
me.
They
Y'all
had to
would've
entertain themselves
entertained
some kind of ways. They ain't, we ain't cable TV. But
me.
what what I noticed from my dad was his work ethic, right?
Mm, mm,
The work ethic I noticed,
mhm.
uh, the grind and the hustle. I mean, you got nine kids,
Yeah. Whew.
you gotta get to the
Yeah,
bag somehow and
yeah,
just,
yeah, you gotta
you know what
go.
I'm saying? But never, he was never into no illegal actions. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
everything was always above board. Always had to, the regular job, just holding everything down at the crib, whatever. Mom never worked, so dad's, rocked out and held it down for nine kids
Hmm.
and two adults. So you like, wow. Well, if you could do it, I definitely ain't having nine, so I should be able to do it. You
Right,
know what I'm saying?
right,
So
for
like
sure.
watching your actions as being like, you came home, you went to work, you came home, you even after working, you helped us with our homework, you loved on mom, it wasn't just like, all right, I went to work, now I'm gonna go sit in my corner, y'all leave me alone.
Right,
You know
right,
what I'm
right,
saying?
right, right.
So that I was able to at least transfer to my kids,
Yeah.
where it's not a stay away from me. It's an embrace. I'm happy to see you every day, kind of thing. So I
Yeah.
would say more of what I would learn was all more so from watching actions, because you could tell me anything.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like my oldest is 14, and if um, he'll be like, if I tell him don't drink, it's not good for you. I can tell you that, or I could show you that.
Right, right.
And I can show you that by one of two ways. I can show you by not doing it and showing you this how you can model this,
Yeah,
or I can show you by being a really bad drunk and you saying I don't want to be like my dad. You
yeah,
know what I'm saying?
yeah.
So, um, so
It
for
is.
me,
This
it's
is
like
this is bad for you.
right,
This
exactly.
bad,
I can say, don't do this.
right.
Don't do this. No, don't. It's
But
like,
I'm
but what?
like,
Exactly. I'm gonna learn more, and people are different. I'm a visual learner though.
like what?
You know what I'm saying? I'm a visual and an audible learner. So like audio books, I do an audio book rather than reading a book. I'm just like nah. But I can visually, I'm gonna watch the actions. I'm gonna hear you, but I'm gonna watch the actions and see if they match up. And that's
Right.
one thing my dad always did. His actions always match his words. You
Yeah.
know, and that's one of the things that I try to be big on for myself is that if I give my word that I'm gonna do something, then my word is my bond. I should be able to hold to that as a man. And if I can't, I'm gonna come to you head on and say, bro, I can't do da 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 whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Um, but it's more, visual than anything for me with seeing and learning those those kind of those nugget points from my dad.
No doubt, man. That's gold, man. And that's you know, and with kids are sponges, you know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
for
Pure
sure.
sponges. So a kid will receive it in all ways, all forms and fashions. It's just hearing is probably it's just the last on the totem pole. But what we see that that's and a lot of time what therapy helps with too is you pulling up some things you didn't even know were there because you saw it. You saw it early on. You,
Really?
you
Yeah.
know, people talk all throughout your life, but some things that you may have seen that you might have put in the back of your mind or put on the side, it's still there because you saw it. These are the portals to the universe. So,
Seriously.
yeah, man. Yeah, that's gold though, man. I appreciate that answer, man. I
Yes,
appreciate it.
sir.
And I get very, very. I don't get too many answers of where people say they were observant to the situations that they grew up in. It's always, and it's good to have knowledge shared or gems dropped, given to you. We have different parents that communicate differently or do things differently. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's gold, man.
Appreciate it.
What's your thoughts on the importance of accountability and community as men?
Trying to
Yeah.
hurt somebody out here. Accountability. You want? I'm a man. What you mean,
You
bro?
mean?
And that was um, my struggle early in my 20s was um, I'm a grown man. What you can't tell me? You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna do me. Doing you has its consequences. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Um, so I would say it is probably of highest importance because there's not going to be a lot of things if you're in a relationship. There's not going to be a lot of things that you might not want to take to your lady, right?
Yeah. Most
Um,
certainly.
or obviously to your kids. You know what I'm saying? You need somebody who understands almost at every level that you at. They can understand. Obviously, man to man, you can understand when it comes to the weight of providing for a family, the weight of leading a family.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? All these things that add on and on and on that I can go talk to my wife or my girl about it, but then it's going, it ain't, you're not really speaking into me how I need to from a man's perspective,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So you could talk to me and be like, bro, I know da 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 whatever. She might give me something that's gonna make me feel better, but it ain't gonna be the same way that my man's gonna kick it to
Yeah.
me.
Yeah. It's
Or I ain't
not the
gonna hold
same
you.
energy.
She
Yeah.
might not hold you accountable the same way as your man's gonna do if you got the right circle.
Yeah.
You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? And I think that's more of the importance isn't the accountability; it's
It's the
who's in your
circle.
circle for that accountability,
Yeah.
right? Because you can have a bunch of yes men in your circle, and then you know you out somewhere doing something you shouldn't be doing, and your man's is there with you.
Yeah.
They not saying nothing because what's that one song? It's a song on the radio right now that says the line in the song. Oh, which I'm like, that's so stupid. It's something like um, it's something like we ain't my friends is here too, and they ain't gonna say nothing because they came to cheat too. Like I'm just like,
Yo.
what kind of? It's a popular song. I wish I could remember the
Yeah,
lyrics, but
I wish I can help y'all, but I'm not
uh,
following nothing
and I
new.
don't. I'm
But
scrolling through the radio just one day. I'm like, what?
yeah, 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 man.
Friends
And
ain't gonna say
that's what's
nothing because
being
they
fed.
came here to have fun too. And I'm just like, wow. So it's like you can have those friends that are there for accountability, but are they really gonna hold your feet to the fire every single time? Because I don't
Yeah,
want you to. You know
yeah,
what I'm saying? So I
Yeah.
actually got a group that I'm a part of. Um, Started with some buddies of mine back in um, Baltimore called Oh My Brother. So it's a Facebook group,
Mm-hmm.
and we have men from all over the country that we get on a weekly call just to encourage each other, listen, talk to each other. That accountability, like we was talking. Um, um, but that's we seen the importance of it, that we were doing it. It was four of us, and we started just doing it amongst ourselves. It was, what if we opened this up to, nobody probably gonna get on.
Right.
Was other dudes saying, "Bro, I've been waiting for something like this.
Right.
Waiting
Right.
for a space that I could just come in and just be me and not have to worry about what my girl gonna say. Is the other shorties in here? Am I on? You know what I'm saying? Where because you can get on a IG live or a Facebook live, but um, you don't really get to weigh in.
Yeah.
Like you just there to watch.
Yeah.
Like, nah, what is this, a movie? Like, no, I want to communicate with the person. I don't want to just sit and watch the screen. So the
Right.
Zoom, we get on a monthly Zoom, allows them to, bro, lay it all down. What's
Yeah.
your week been like? What's your month been like? What can we help you at? What can we encourage you at? You know what I'm saying? Like, um, and so we saw the value in it. So we tapped into Oh My Brother to be a space where brothers could come into a Facebook group. It's a private group, but we'll get people who request, and all the moderators can approve or whatever. But inside that group, even posted on the wall, is stuff specifically. It's all related to
Mm-hmm.
men in health, men in tech, men in money, men in mental health, men in, you know what I'm saying? All these different things that ain't no women in here, so we can post anything, and nothing is. And the thing that I love, nothing has ever been like
No inappropriate. Huh?
everybody on the like mind.
Yeah. That's yeah.
Everybody want to level up their thinking and not dumb it down.
Yeah.
It's never been no post in there that's been like, oh, why did he post this? What is he
Right.
doing? You know
Right.
what I'm saying? Always to edify, and that's the
Yeah.
thing I love about it. So your circle will determine what they say. Um, your circle will determine your basically the type of person you are or become to be, because they're obviously they're feeding
Yeah.
into, you know what I'm saying? What they say, show me your friends and I'll show you your future.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know
Or
what I'm saying?
you become the five people that are
Right.
around you.
The
Yeah.
first exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm like, well, I want to be a millionaire. Cool. I'm gonna surround myself with 5 millionaires. Oh, I want to be a drug dealer. What do? They go stand on a corner with the drug dealers. Oh, I want to be a, and it shows no matter what you position yourself around,
Yep.
it's gonna seep out, you know, onto, um, onto you. So
Yeah. And
yeah, bro.
even if you think you're strong enough to withstand that, you got to be careful because other people will have the expectations of you, like, oh, he with them, he must be, you know what I'm
Yep.
saying? Or,
Yep.
oh, you do what he do. Oh, wait, all right. And you're like, no, I don't. But why you with him?
Yeah,
You know
exactly.
what I'm saying? Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, man, that's gold, man. That's pure gold. And that just that's big, man. And we would throw the word accountability around, but emphasizing like, okay, who is holding you accountable is very, very important. So yeah, yeah. Hope anybody who's watching this, man, like key in on that. You know what I'm saying? Anybody could and you could be held accountable the wrong way. You know what I'm saying? People could
Exactly.
be giving you wrong, all the way left field advice. So
So
yeah, man.
watch the
So
circle.
what advice would you give the young you, the younger, the younger Mike growing up?
I'll give him several bits of advice. Um, One would definitely be to not be afraid of the no, not be afraid of a no, N-O. And to break that down is fear of man, right? So growing up, if you're constant, and obviously in therapy, I learned why my bent has been this way. But um, your parents tell you no. I just finished a book that talked about how many of the thousands of times in your childhood that you hear no compared to how many times you hear yes.
Yeah.
So then it programs us to well, I want to avoid the no, so now I'm not going to ask the questions that I need to ask, um, um, or whatever like that. So now I'm at a space now where I'm like, I will ask anybody anything.
Yeah.
Yo, can I come on tour with you to set up a table to do? Nah, we don't really get down like that. All right,
On to the next.
on to the next one. Because you know what it didn't do? It didn't cost me anything to take that no.
Wow. Yeah.
But if they'd have said yes, now
Now
we
it's
in a whole
on.
different situation. But I was too scared of the no, where
Hmm.
the no really has no power. The
Yeah.
yes has all the power.
Yeah.
The no don't have no power. The
Yeah.
no keep me in the same spot I was already in. All right. You know how many therapists I reach out to, and not even on post. I want to send you this so you can post it for us. And I just believe in. I want to pump this out to. If I see a therapist and I love their page and I see what they're doing, I'm gonna DM them and say, "Hey, love what you're doing. This is our brand. We'd love to shoot you a hoodie. Just let us know your size and your address." I've been shooting them out to the ones that respond. Some respond and some don't.
Yeah.
The ones that don't respond, I don't lose no sleep over. I don't
Right.
lose no money over. I don't lose nothing over. At the end of the day, I'm in the same position if I never messaged you at all. But these other ones over here,
Yeah.
they like, hey, we got a whole team of therapists in this office and we all want a hood. Oh, well, let
Yeah.
me shoot those out. You know what I'm saying? Because it's going to
That's
turn in somewhere else.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
I would say to my younger self, don't be afraid of the no. And I would say that to anybody else today. Don't be afraid of the no, because the no has no power.
Yeah.
It's the yes that has all the power. Um,
And everything is
and
in alignment too. Maybe those no's were beneficial. Those no's may have saved the
there's,
brand or saved
there's,
you. Or it plays a part, and maybe they'll be ready down the line sooner or later. So
some people gotta see it. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Some people gotta see it pop, and um, in my eyes, it's popping. You know what I'm saying? So
better
some
be.
people, some people are like, well, we won't wait to see it pop. You know, in my mind, when it's popping is when more people start coming to me
Yeah,
than I'm reaching out to. Oh, now
yeah,
we on something
yeah,
now. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? People who coming and saying, bro, I want to be a part of what you're building here because I see your vision. I see what you want to do. I see that you want to take this message and put it on as many bodies as we can. Because the more you see it, the more it's going to be. Oh, you go to therapy too? You go to you. All right, yeah. I've been thinking about it, and well, why haven't you?
hmm
You know, people you know what I mean? So it's like they like we see your vision, we want to get a part of it, we want to get behind it. So when more people start coming, they coming, they coming, and they coming. I'm like, oh, it's popping now.
Oh
Some
yeah,
people they want to see it. How many followers do you have? I'm like, trust me, followers ain't got nothing to do with
right,
you know what
right,
I'm saying?
right.
With mission and vision. But
Yeah,
if, like, if that's what matters for you, some people that's what their equity is. If
yeah.
that's your equity, if your equity is in followership, then I might not be the person for you at this point. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
Um,
Just holler at me a little
nothing
later.
by
That's
it.
all.
Yeah, take nothing by it. And I would probably say that the other thing that I would tell my younger self um, is um, start therapy. You know what I mean? So, and obviously, a lot of us we don't get in early enough,
Yeah, righteous.
um, and so I just think back to the earliest point of trauma that I can think of in my mind right now was probably not even somewhere between 8 and 12, I'll say. And so when you look at how many other um, youth have been impacted by traumas, even in that 8 to 12 range,
Hmm.
right? Some younger, but a lot that majority of that range is at 8 to 12, where it's happened, but then they can remember it.
Yeah, yeah,
And they're at a point where I remembered that this happened, but I didn't get any help. So now I go 5 years, something else happens. I go another 5 years, something else happens. Go another 5 years, and you're just constantly building this on and building this on, and never learning any positive ways to cope, Because you're gonna cope. You're gonna find a way to cope, whether you know that's what you're doing or not.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Whatever you're dealing with, but um, being aware of the different things that are resources that were available. I wish I would have knew that at even at 18 when I lost my dad.
Right.
It was
Right.
tragic. It was instant. It was sudden. Um, he was shot and killed. So it was like it wasn't like he was sick and we were just waiting around a deathbed. We're talking
Wow.
instant trauma. All right, see you in the morning. No, we won't see you in the morning, right?
Yeah.
So you're talking even 10 plus years, 15 years of unresolved trauma from even that point.
Yeah.
And then all this is building on building. I'm like, bro. So what I would have told myself, go to therapy, right? Not think that you're okay because
Mhm.
you feel okay. And I only felt okay because I was just staying busy,
Yeah.
keeping my mind off of whatever the reality of my life was at that point.
Right.
And
Right.
so I would say get in therapy because one of the things that um, I've realized, I was just telling my sister a couple weeks ago, I was like, I've been out of sessions for a few months and got back in a few weeks ago and got off my session. I called my sister, bro. I said, I forgot how good it felt to talk to somebody.
Right. Right. Right.
And
Talking
not just
about
like you
it,
can talk to the homies, like it's different, but like to talk to a professional
professional,
that can
right?
even help you process through, well, why do you think you did that?
Yeah.
Well, what if you would have done? If you could have done something different, what would it have been? What do you think that? Just to think on a different frame of mind, I was just like, wow,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
forgot how good it was to talk to somebody.
Oh yeah.
Literally,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
I've come off for sessions where I just had to sit there. You know
Yep.
what I'm saying? Sit there and process it. But it's productive. It's like,
Yep.
man, okay. And then give you a different perspective on tackling things in the future. So yeah, man, that therapy is dope for real.
Therapy is though,
For
bro. And
real,
I think a lot
literally.
of people, I think what a lot of it is this is miseducation. You know what I mean? Like when you think of the older generation, um, like grandparents' ages, right? I remember going in when I first started to look for a therapist, 2019, 2020. I remember the security guard at my um, office was he was at his post, and I didn't know where the psychiatrist, I think she was a psychologist, whatever. Well, her office was in the building. I'm like, well, it says that it's in building 4 or such and such floor. I'm like, I don't know what's that. Do you know where the therapist's office is? And my man, 70, 80 years old. Oh, you mean for the crazy people? I said,
Uh mindset, man.
mindset. And he
Mind,
was older
yeah,
black gentleman. You
yeah,
know what I'm saying? But goes to mindset.
yeah,
But our mindset, even his mindset, is from a place of distrust. Even that's our history from a place of distrust,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
So it's like, what do you expect? Now you want us to get in here and talk to these people about what's going on with us? Y'all made me feel this way. You know what I
yeah.
mean? So he's like, nah, I'm not talking to nobody. The crazy people, and I'm like, crazy people. You know what I mean? So it's miseducation.
You know, and sadly,
I lost my
some of
phone.
us resources, some of us can't afford.
Ah, resources. That's
Yeah,
where I was going. Yeah.
yeah.
So it's the affordability. So when I even talk to people about resources, right? Um, employers, one of my big things to always tackle because it's like, well, I don't even know if I
Hmm.
want to go to therapy. Why am I going to throw my money up to something I don't even know if it's going to work for me, right?
Right, right,
I don't
right.
know if it's for me. Now I'm good. But um, employers, you walk into the back room, your employee workroom or whatever, it's normally a poster on the wall that says company will provide as an employee benefit X amount of da 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 da. You call this number, employee assistance program. You call them and you'll say, hey, I'm having issues with X, and it's all confidential. Surprisingly to me, how many people still to this day don't know this, right?
Right,
It's
right.
all confidential. I literally had a conversation with a guy a few weeks ago, and he's like, but I don't want to call them because then my job gonna know about my business. I'm like, nah, bro, like nobody know nothing.
Yeah,
Trust me. call this number. They're gonna provide you X. They can give you your company will. Most companies will give you at least a minimum of 3 covered services for psychotherapy,
Mm-hmm.
and most will even give it to you per occurrence. So if I'm in this time because I'm depressed, I'm in this time because of my anxiety, I'm in this time because I had a death in the family. Most companies will even give it to you per situation you have. You can come back and get it again. So even
Right.
if you don't have the necessarily the funds for the resource to do it, I tell people tap into that because
Yeah.
it's free,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And I tell them like it's a free trial
Yeah.
because you don't know this therapist, so you kind of
Yeah.
trialing them at the same time.
Yeah.
And I'm like, who don't like a free trial? I
Yeah.
love a free trial. I just signed up for one. I got my calendar set 14 days. I'm going to 13 days. I'm going to turn off the, I'm done.
Yeah.
I got everything I needed in these 13 days. The 14th day, y'all can take that back.
Yeah. Y'all
But
can
that's
have
how
that.
I tell people. It's like a free trial. So take advantage of it
Yeah, that's good
because
advice, man.
having that available to you is definitely going to be a game changer.
Yo, that is some dope advice, man. And people been working on jobs for years and don't know that
Struggling,
that's available. Struggling,
struggling.
struggling with home and work issues. And go and see the same boss that you're having, difficulty with, and not knowing that that service is readily provided. Yo,
Big
that's gold. That's good advice, man. And, that's good advice.
time. Yeah.
Um, Most certainly. And I'm glad you're sharing it on Show Thyself a
Yes,
Man.
sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, we got the exclusives. But yeah, man. So if you don't mind sharing, man, what were some mistakes that you may have made growing up that you wish you could take back? Even not
Oh,
even growing up, even as an adult.
yeah. Um, Mistakes I could take back. So I won't necessarily say mistakes. I'll say decisions
Oh, yeah.
I've made.
Okay, let's go with it.
Um,
Yeah.
so I did make a decision. I got married young, right? So
Mm.
I got married really young. I was 20, 1,
Ooh,
21, 22, 2.
young, young.
Yeah. Um, and we got married, or I got married because I'm like, you having my kid. Like, I
Yeah.
gotta do the right thing, right? That's for me what I felt like. This was being a man is I gotta be in here, and it's like your man is to be responsible for these, for your child. Um, and so it was a decision that I made that um, wasn't the best decision. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? Um, it wasn't a decision made in the right heart, made in the right frame of mind. Because again, it was what are they going to think if they find out who is they,
Who's the
right?
they?
Who is they? Get them out of here, whoever they is. But it was from a position of what would they think? Well, whoever they is, I got to show them that I'm kind of what we were talking about earlier. I'm okay. Everything looks good. I'm gonna package it up in this nice, pretty box, and it looks great, right? I'm not going to talk to you about I need help. I'm not going to talk to you about this. Hey, I'm struggling over here with this part relationally, or I need help with this or that, because now I got to present it as as this pretty box. And so I did that early in my 20s. Um, and that was a decision that I look back and I'm like, man, bro, like that wasn't a great decision. I have
Yeah.
3 beautiful children from that decision. So I don't look at it as a mistake, but definitely a
Yeah.
decision that wasn't my best decision, but I learned from it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I learned that I don't. To me, I'm like I don't necessarily like I look at it like I don't owe anybody anything,
Mhm.
right? So I don't owe you. I gotta do this. I gotta. You're pregnant. We gotta get married now. Like, well, wait. What is your actual responsibility? And grew up in the church, so it was the church.
That's the
They
day.
were.
Those are the days. That's the day.
You know what I'm saying? I was like, and my dad wasn't alive. You know what I'm saying? So I
Mhm.
didn't even have the guidance to be like, bro, what are you doing? Nah, this
Oh
ain't what you
man,
doing.
yeah, and that's
You know what
that's
I'm saying?
that's that's right. That's right, coming from right off of of
That
him
he
leaving.
taught me 3 years later.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
saying never
yeah,
dealing with the trauma from here,
yeah,
and now I'm here, and all right, well I'm gonna do. So it's like you didn't process over here well, you didn't process here well, so it's like whoa.
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
and so I think that's the big thing that for a lot of people like
yeah,
um, is the worried about what the other person thinks that determines how they're gonna act and move and respond to a situation in their own life. Like it wouldn't have changed nothing in how people react and respond and view me if we never got married. You know what I'm saying? But in my mind, oh, they about
yeah,
to nail me to the cross.
yeah, man,
You know
yeah,
what I'm saying?
yeah,
So it's definitely put me in a space to make a decision that would say wasn't the best decision.
yeah.
Um, and if I can think of another one that wasn't that was a mistake or not a good decision. Um, I will say this only this is what I'll say. I wish I would have read more
Mm.
growing up, whether that's a physical book, an audio book, whatever.
Like what?
Um, I wish I would have input more information, more knowledge.
Yeah.
Right? Um, and that's actually my goal for 22 is actually not too bad on it. So my goal for 22 is 22 books.
Mm.
Right, I am either 7 or 9 books in right
Okay.
now, but I'm doing all audiobooks,
Yeah.
and I'll be honest, I'm high level listening to them. Like I listen to one in the car, Automobile University. That's what one of my men
Right.
refers to it as.
Right.
Um, but I'm intaking, even
Yeah.
if I'm not somebody says, well, I can't do an audiobook while I'm driving because I'm not retaining. And I'm like, you actually are more than you know.
That subconscious getting it all.
You are more than you know. I go back and the guys are like, listen to this book. Did he say 6 times or 16 times? I just heard him say it yesterday. He's like, but if you listen to this X amount of time straight through, it's going to be stuff in there that you, even on the 16th listen, that you're like, whoa, I
You
didn't
pick
even
up
hear
on.
that.
Right.
You
Right.
know what I'm saying? Because your mind is constantly being open to new ideas at the right time.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
wish that I would have picked up more of that in my younger years. Like now I don't even listen to music that much. My
Right.
time in the
Likewise.
car is
Likewise.
audiobooks. You know what I'm saying? It's like who dropped something new? Like I was like, oh wait, J. Cole dropped the joint last week. Oh man, I forgot. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm on audiobook. You
Yeah.
know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
And I actually um, I think it's good to feed the soul. You know
Mhm.
what I'm saying? Um, or I'll say this: it's good to be mindful of what you feed the soul because everything feeds the soul. It just
Yes,
depends on how you feed
yes, sir.
it. And being able to take um, knowledge that you don't know. I'm saying to say you want to hide something, somebody put it in the book. It's so true because it's so much in there. One of the things the guy said in the book I just finished, he said, even if you read the world's worst book, you still got something out of it that you didn't know before you opened it up.
Exactly.
I was like,
That- One of my uncles said that. So growing up in the hood or whatever, they're going to give you the knowledge that they know. Like give you the game, give you the real.
yeah,
He's
yeah,
like, if a wino or a crackhead talks to you, still listen.
yeah.
Because they probably imparting some game too. They probably
Straight up,
telling you don't do the shit that they doing.
straight up, straight
You
up.
know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Just be receptive. Chew up the meat, spit out the bones,
yeah,
but don't turn away no type of knowledge at all.
yeah.
Yeah, that's gold. So yeah, even in your sleep, man. Like like I
Oh, I
have
play a John. I play a John that is just like so. I've been big on like self talk, right?
yeah,
So
yeah,
I'll probably say within the past like 6 to 8 weeks, I really started tapping in. Big on like affirmations,
yeah. Oh yeah, most certainly.
um, um, affirmations for myself personally, affirmations for my business, affirmations for my family, like you know what I'm saying, like, but then going to sleep with this stuff on
Yeah,
affirmations about finances,
yeah,
about happiness, and about health, and about even affirmations about rest. You
yeah.
know what I'm saying? Like at certain frequencies, and I'm learning all of this stuff, or listen to it at such and such frequency and what it does, and I'm like, man, this stuff don't work. Boy,
Talking
that
change,
mug
man,
cheat code. I call it the
changing.
cheat code, bro.
Yeah, man, for real. It'll change your mood, just like all that. For real, it's a real thing. And
Straight
and
up.
and and the best times is even so before sleep, during sleep,
Wake
and
up.
right when you wake up. That's when your mind is like pretty much yawning with you. You know what
Exactly.
I'm saying? And it's like wide open. You get that knowledge coming in. Yeah,
Yeah.
man, that's gold, man. And to kind of go back a few steps about the marriage part, you know, I often talk with brothers about that, man. It's like, we just think about all you have to do to receive your driver's license.
Mm,
Saying you have to study it, you have to study for the test, you have to take a test, written and driven test, to see if you qualify to get on the road. Else you'd be running in the shit, knocking people over. You know what I'm saying? And that's also what happens in marriage. And
yeah.
you have to, and I, encourage counseling and all that. But most importantly, back to the therapy. When you mention that it's important for us to get it early, those are one of the reasons, because we have to even know ourselves, like, understand our what makes us go, what makes us stop. You know what I'm saying? And not giving someone else the power to have control over your buttons.
Mm-hmm.
Because on the, how they say you can see on the outside looking in, you can't see the picture when you're in the frame.
Mm,
When someone else is looking at you, they kind of get a visual of you better than you.
mm-hmm.
Therapy kind of gives that to us. It gives us a visual of ourselves. So therapy first, man. And
Yeah.
another thing I often mention too is like the when we think of Adam and Eve, like Adam didn't know he needed a partner. All
Mm-hmm.
Adam was told to do was tend to the garden. All he knew was his work. All he knew what he was here to do. And God was like, okay, this brother could use some help. I'm gonna give him some nice help too.
Mm-hmm.
But he wasn't concerned at all about. He was concerned about getting the work done. So that's how that plays out, man. Just brothers that's listening, focus on your purpose, focus on you, getting your mind together, getting your mind set right, getting everything about you right. And that all that'll come,
Yeah.
all that'll come. So yeah.
Feel you. And I would even say, um, as the father's role of importance,
Mm,
right, when it comes to um, the um, not just the physical protection of your kids, right, but also um, the mental,
mm-hmm,
the emotional protection, the spiritual protection. Like these weigh heavy on the father.
mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Is that not that a mom can't do it, because we absolutely have beautiful, strong women in single parent homes who hold it down.
Oh yeah.
But a woman, you'll hear a woman say this more than if it was the man at home and a single parent family with a father only.
It's two different tones.
Two different tones. So you'll hear the mom say, "I can't raise a boy to be a man," right? I can't think, and I have friends who single parent fathers
Mm-hmm.
who have full custody of their kids, and I've never heard, I can't raise my daughter to be a woman.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it shows, in my mind, that speaks to where a dad's importance and value is in the upbringing of a family.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, we need the strength from dad and the nourishing from mom, and the care and comfort and all. But dad can really give all those things too if mom isn't present.
Yeah.
Um, but we need,
The
but
balance.
we need the balance more, because we obviously know that if I put a ponytail in your hair, or if she put a ponytail in your hair, it's going to look better
It's not
if you,
gonna. It's
you
not
know
gonna.
what I'm saying?
Not gonna be quite
So,
the same.
exactly. Know your strengths and play to them.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
and the hair is definitely, you know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
not my
Yeah.
strength.
Yeah.
You
That's not your. That's not your.
know what I'm saying?
Not your topic
Um,
of discussion, huh?
right. But that's important.
Yeah.
That's important. I think the biggest thing really is being able um, to care after your children mentally.
Yeah.
Okay, because if I can care for you mentally, I can get to everything else with no problem. If I
Right.
can't get to you mentally and emotionally, then I'm tapped out. But if I can break through and get to you at a mental level and help you understand that it's important for you to understand, why are you thinking this way? Why are you acting this way? Let's get you some help. It doesn't mean that nothing's wrong with you, because it could be, like you said earlier. You said it could be something chemical,
Hmm.
right? It could be something just in your genes that maybe didn't affect your daddy, but it's affecting you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
as the father and the lead, it's like caring for them, uh, beyond just, well, I went to work today and you got food in the house. Like, all right, just shut up.
Yeah.
No, I need a hug, Dad.
Yeah.
Like you were saying with your, what is it? Hug, hug me.
Dad,
What is it?
dad hugs.
Dad hugs.
Yeah.
Like the difference in, you know, my what is it, Levi? 18, 11. My 11-year-old is, he got me into hugging.
Hmm.
Never had a real no problem with hugging. All right.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? He like, why you pushing me away? And I'm like, oh, I don't know why
I don't
I'm
even
pushing
know.
you away.
Like. Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I wasn't a hugged child.
Yeah.
I was a loved child, but I wasn't a hugged child.
Yeah. I.
That just wasn't a way that my parents communicated love necessarily.
Right.
But now I know, oh, that's the way you need it. So now I need to love you in that way. I need to take care of you emotionally and mentally in that way.
Yeah.
There's so much power in a hug that we don't even realize.
Boy,
The
it's definitely
release that
healing.
comes from this transfer of, wow, that felt good. What was that? I don't know, but it felt great. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Where last time I was visiting my son, and he hugged me, and it was almost like he didn't want to let me go, and I was like, man,
Yeah.
I felt like, man, this felt great.
Yeah.
But there's a difference that a dad can speak into that than a mom can.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That a dad can lead in the way that we model it being okay for you to hug me, right? Because if I can hug my dad, then I know I can hug my mom.
Yeah. Yeah.
But just because I can hug my mom, I might run to my dad and he, boy, what you doing?
Yeah.
In
Yeah.
the wrong neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? Man, go
Yeah.
ahead, bro. What you
Yeah.
get about me? You treat your son like he one of the homies trying to rub up. You like, bro, that's your son.
Yeah.
So it's like, shift your mindset, take care of him, not take care of the son specifically, um, not just financially.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? It's like you could send a couple dollars, but what are we doing to build into our children and our sons from a mental and emotional, a spiritual level outside of financial? You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So
Right.
I feel like that's a given. Like finances is a given.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, bro. I think that's super, 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 super important for fathers to tap
Oh yeah, man. That's man. Yo, that's gold. And you know what? You know what happens, man? Even when the father is present, our cells generate
in.
like real talk. Like if a child, or let's say a son and a father, any daughters included, but in particular, sons and fathers. If your son at least don't see what you do for
Mm-hmm.
work or anything with what you do in general, don't see the your practices, don't have an example of who to be, that leaves him wide open. Like, leaves him wide open for anything else to be his example.
Yeah.
So that's why we see so many kids getting into the streets or whatever. And we know that's given, but we don't understand how serious it is about the anatomy of it. Like,
Mm-hmm.
like I'll sit like my son becomes me when as much as we're around. It's like when you said, you would wonder why you would do certain things as a man, as the cell generation.
Yeah.
Not necessarily nothing being said or no blueprint like given physically, but our cells generate. You become your father.
Yeah.
So yeah, 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 and just hugging amplifies that, man. It's like, you know, and then that's what made me do the dad hug challenge. Is I can count on my hands how many times me and my dad actually embraced. Like growing up,
Mm-hmm.
like one hand. You know what I'm saying? And I can honestly two times growing up as a man.
Mm-hmm.
But and I thought about that, but my family, we hug. We do all that before bed every night, just random times of the day. And I thought about it, I said, man, this never happened for me at all. So I just, did the challenge, and was the funny thing about it, my mom showed my dad,
Mm-hmm.
and he and we had an engagement. We have a wonderful relationship, man. We had an engagement where I was by his house, and he just not. I'm proud of you, boy. I'm proud of you. Come here, give me a hug. And I was like,
Yeah. Yeah.
okay. But
Yeah.
when we hugged, I was like, yo, this is like
That that that
20,
that connection that yeah.
yeah, it's like 20 plus years
Mm,
of a void, you know what I'm
yeah.
saying,
Yeah.
being somewhat filled. I think we have couple more hugs to make,
Sure, for sure.
before a void is fully filled. But it was
For
the
sure.
moment was gold. So
Yeah.
yeah,
I
yeah,
bet.
man. So I'm encouraging all the fathers who watch it, go grab your son right now. Grab your daughter, grab it, whoever by you.
Yeah.
Even if you don't like them, just if you don't like them, give them the one on. Like, all right.
Hug the dog, he said. Hug the dog.
Get the dog, the cat, the gerbils, the not the fish, but
Like a fish.
grab, grab them up. It's therapeutic.
Yeah.
Because therapy is dope, man. And with that, dear brother, look, I want to thank you again, man, for stopping through. You definitely edified us all with the wisdom, man, and once again, condolences to Pops, and keep it moving, keep doing your thing, man. What's next? What's next for Mike, man? What's next for Mike Guest?
Man, what's next is pushing the gas on Be.Good brand.
Yes,
Okay.
sir. Yes, sir.
Um, so we actually just expanded our um, ability to ship to international because we were just shipping domestic.
Mm-hmm.
And so now we have the capability for our site to be viewed internationally and
Okay.
international currency and all. So that's literally as of the last 24 hours that has happened. So just things are going in place that I think is really, um, really going to line us up for even greater success. Um, we've already experienced success because I look at it and say you know, if you can take something from your mind that has value and monetize it, it's success over success,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
it's not just I was just able to monetize something, but it's something that has some value and some impact. It's not just I'm just gonna make a couple dollars, but it's like, well, if I can have impact and value that I'm not doing over here, or like if I'm just going to my job and I'm working a regular 9 to 5, I'm not really have no impact, no value, but I'm making money, I can pay my bills, cool. But what if I can make money to pay my bills and have impact and value, and that all come from the same, you know what I mean, from the same well.
Yeah.
Um, and that's where we get into, to be able to scale up. So that's what's next for us. Um, Considering stepping back into music, so I haven't done music in probably almost 2 years.
But you're an
Almost 2 years.
artist or a musician?
Artists,
Okay.
artists. So
Rap,
I
rap, sing.
rap. So you find me anywhere that you listen to your music. You find me Mike Guess. You just type in my name and I will pop up.
Yes,
Um,
sir. Yes, sir. What about
but
social media handles? All everything is Mike.
social media, who is Mike Guess,
Yes,
is the
sir.
social media handle, and then the brand page um, is um, Be Good dot brand. So like you tell your kids, be good. So be good dot brand, or you can find us at therapyisdope dot movement. So we run actually two pages because we've just had people like, is it a therapy is dope page? And I'm like,
Yeah,
nah,
yeah,
start one. Like,
yeah.
so we got a movement going, bro, and that's really the next step is to expand our territory. And right now we've shipped to since November. We've shipped to 35 states, I want to say, 36 states, something like that. So I'm excited.
Since
I'm
November.
excited since November.
Oh yeah, that's okay. Let's go. Let's go. So yeah, man. Once again, I tilt my hat, man. I tilt my hat to everything you got going on, and let's stay connected, man. Let's
Sure, bro.
in
For
the in
sure,
the
for sure.
in the future bring this thing together in many ways, however many ways we can, and let's build our brothers, man.
Already.
Yes.